All right, going live in 3, 2, 1. Well, this is TNZ episode number 2, and we have Tina with us this evening. How are you doing, Tina?
Good. Hey, how's it going?
I'm pretty good. How's the weather where you are?
Ooh, it's good. 2 days ago it snowed, so it's not it. There's no more snow though, but it's pretty awful seeing that in late April. I think it's supposed to get 60s.
Yeah, yeah.
What's it like over? What's it like over there?
I was gonna say I was wondering if you were getting anything worse than what we were getting. We are getting in the lower 30s, so we didn't. If we had if we had any precipitation, we might have gotten some snow. It was that it's for the past 2 nights. It's been pretty cold. So,
Wow.
um, but did you get any major buildup, or was it just like a dusting? Or
No, it was just a dusting.
oh, okay, so nothing too serious then. Gotcha.
No.
Yeah, the weather's like all over. Like next week, we're supposed to be going up to the 80s. So we're going from pretty extreme. The one thing I always wish that during the transition from winter into summer is I always wish we could have like a period where I could not use the air conditioning and not use the heat, so I could like save a little bit of money in between. But that never seems to be the case. It's either I have to have the heat on or I have to have the air conditioning on. There's no in between. So
Yeah. Well, it's tough too. You can't. Sometimes you can't have like the windows open even. So
yeah.
it's like just yeah, yeah. Keep it temperature controlled.
So this is a new feature. I was telling you about this before we started the show, and this is something we're trying to engage our audience a little bit more now. We're asking a question at the beginning of our show, and with the it's basic. That all the questions we'll ask will be in the form of a poll, and there'll be multiple answers that can be left. And for this evening's question, why don't you go ahead and ask it? I'll go ahead and type it out.
If you could only watch one movie genre for the rest of your life, what genre would it be? And tell us in the comments what movie.
Okay. Okay. Let's see if we can shorten that down a little bit.
Yeah.
It was kind of
Yeah,
weird.
condensed.
um, let's see. How about what would be your favorite movie genre? If I guess what is your favorite? We could just say what is your favorite movie genre? Would you like that?
Sure.
Okay. All right. And you're gonna have to help me spell the word genre. That's all. I never finished high school. Just kidding.
Do you want me to spell it?
Yeah, if you could, I do need to spell that one. That's what I'm
That's
lost.
okay. Genre.
Genre.
Yep.
There we go. What is your movie? Okay, yeah. What is your favorite movie genre? And whoops. And
Sorry.
what is your what would be how should we phrase that? What is your favorite and what would be
What's
what
your
is
number one?
what is your number one movie in that genre, or what is your favorite movie in that genre? What is your
Sure.
okay. Am I spelling that right? Yeah.
I was looking a little bit like George Washington's hair, so I had to change it. It looks like George Washington though. A really bad haircut. I got the worst haircut ever.
Oh, it looks fine. I thought it looked great.
I'm trying to recover. Thank you. I can't help but make it look. It looks like George Washington.
A little bit, yeah. If George Washington had red hair.
No.
Okay, what should we put as the first genre? We have 5 options we can put here. What do you want to put as the first one?
Well, comedy
Comedy?
for
Okay.
sure.
Okay. Okay. What
Action.
action, adventure?
Yep. Yeah, or adventure.
I'll put or adventure, like you said.
Ooh,
Okay. What else? Oh, I put there.
what's the last genre movie you saw?
Uh,
Last one I saw, the last movie I saw was a documentary
I'm trying.
about Scientology.
How about science fiction? I guess.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I don't know what people like that. Maybe I'm not really into them, but comic book movies.
Would that fall under action?
Yeah, that might also fall under science fiction as well. So
Maybe I would maybe put. I would actually be curious to know how many people watch action movies specifically. So I would put action, or I'm sorry, comic book movies. I would be curious to know how many people specifically watch
okay.
comic movies or
Oh,
comic book
oh,
movies.
sure. Now, there's obviously different kinds of comic book movies, like during the 2000s we had the Dark Knight trilogy by the Christopher Nolan directed, which were
Yeah,
much, I would say, more darker and more realistic and grittier than some of the ones that seem to come out today. So
yeah,
and then the ones today seem to be more comic book based. So or based more, meaning more on the comic book itself, I mean. So
yeah.
um
Last genre.
let me
How
think.
many people watch mysteries these days?
Mysteries, is that even a popular thing? I'm not even sure.
I don't even think so. I think literally it's comedy or action or sci-fi.
About
Maybe like a drama.
drama, okay, drama, or maybe even romance. I don't know if we want to add romance.
Yeah, well, yeah, just yeah, let's do romance.
Romance? Okay, we'll add romance. Okay. And if, of course, if anyone wants to add one in the comments below, they can always do that.
And be honest, everyone, because we need to know the truth. If you watch romance movies, we'd like to talk about romance more.
Oops, I have a typo in here. What is, whoops, and what is what? Oh my goodness, what did I type there? Oh my goodness. Hold on. I've typed in too many
What
words.
is your favorite movie genre? What is your favorite movie in that genre?
There we go. I got it. Okay, I got too many ises in there. And there we go. And hold on, wait a minute.
You got that.
I can't think straight tonight.
Nice.
And what is your favorite movie in that genre? Okay, there we go. Cool.
Nice.
Okay, we're gonna post this. Make sure there's no other, because once we post this, there's a typo there. Once we post this, we can't change anything. Unfortunately, it's locked in.
Bam.
Here we go. All set.
It's
So
live.
it's live. So everybody, let me refresh the screens. Okay, there we go. So we'll come back periodically and check this out and see what the results are. Well, and like we said, if anyone wants to add any other movie genres, feel free to add it in the comments below. I mean, we can remove that. So now we're going to review a movie that you recently saw. Is that right?
Yes, speaking of comic book movies, I watched Kick Ass and it was pretty good. And I got some favorite clips to share.
Okay.
Just a few.
Now, I'd like to say this. I don't know if I said this before, but Kick Ass is one of 3 different movies that I refused to watch when it came out because I thought, based on the title alone, it was going to be something stupid. It just didn't sound like something I wanted to go see. The other 2 other movies that I refused to watch when they first came out, that I like this movie, by the way. The 2 other movies that I refused to watch that had titles that I thought would just make me think I didn't want to watch were Fight Club and the movie Starship Troopers. I thought both of those would be just. I thought Fight Club was obviously I thought was going to be just a kickbox movie or something. And I was like, are fighting. I don't care about that. But it turned out to be much more than it actually. It was more in depth than that. There was fighting, but it was different. Not as. And then the Starship Troopers turned out to be a satire on war. And I was really surprised when I saw that. I had no idea it was going to be like that. So I don't know if have you ever seen either of those movies?
No, I thought Starship Troopers was about aliens.
Yes, it is, but it's a satire on war.
Oh, okay.
It blew me away. Was like the intelligence level that the movie was set at. It really was really good, really good.
You'd recommend it?
Oh, highly recommend that movie.
Okay.
Oh, very much so. And
Cool.
I watched it reluctantly because I thought it was going to be stupid. I had nothing else on one Sunday afternoon or something on the weekend, and I was like, I watched in the background. I was like, oh my god, this is really good. And it's like, and there's movie you can go on. You'll see several movie reviews on YouTube where they talk about this how the satire, they break down the satire in the movie, and you can really see, they put a lot of depth into it. So
Yeah. Cool. I would love to check those out.
okay, so
Okay.
how did you feel when you saw Kick-Ass? What was your, let me ask you, what was your first opinion when I asked you when I recommended it to you?
So I think I had a similar feel to it. I thought it would be like every other superhero movie. I didn't even realize it was like a comedy, like a dark comedy. And I feel like that was the first time that superhero movies kind of poked fun at themselves without a huge budget, like CGI budget. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, I really liked it. I was pleasantly surprised.
Now, was there any favorite parts of the movie? Anything in particular that really drew? We're gonna, of course, so people. I'm sure most people have seen the movie. It's now what, almost 11 years old, I guess. So, anyone who doesn't want to be spoiled by anything we're about to see, you want to turn away at this point. So,
Yeah,
but
tread lightly. I thought the relationship between Kick-Ass and Chris, who is also he's also a superhero, the Mist. I thought their relationship was pretty nice, and I thought Hit Girl was pretty cool, Chloe Moretz. But
the
yeah, I liked it.
yeah, Chloe, what's her name? I forget her last name. We just said it, but Hit Girl was my favorite part of the whole movie.
Yeah,
I thought she she blew me away with that, and she wasn't even technically the main character, obviously. And
no,
the way she came in, and just she was brutal, she was cute, she was smart, she was everything. It's like she just completely caught me off guard with everything that she did. So cute in a little kid kind of way is what I mean. So um there's a sequel to this movie, which I don't want to give too much away because I don't know if you'd ever want to see it, but unfortunately, she grew up in the second movie. They waited too long to make the sequel, so she was a little bit much older. So she wasn't the cute little kid anymore. So
okay. Well, yeah, I mean, unfortunately, that happens in Hollywood. That's the only problem. Like, I get that you want to do it exactly, but it's like you have to go into the movie thinking that, but at the same time, it's really tough to look past that because you're like, oh, she's supposed to be 13, but she actually is like 21.
right, right.
So it's tough. I try to, but it's tough. That's definitely a bad part of being a movie fan. If you're into that, if you follow specific movies, like follow the sequel, I guess.
the um the movie itself, now I didn't know if you know this, was actually based on a comic book with the same name. So um
I didn't know that.
yeah, I didn't know that either until I stumbled upon a YouTube video that showed the differences between the actual movie and the comic book. I never read the comic book, but one of the interesting differences between the movie and the comic book is that Kick-Ass, the girl, I forget the woman, the girl that he becomes girlfriend, he hooks up with halfway through the movie.
Hmm.
Um, she thinks in the comic book she also thinks that he is gay, but when
Oh
she
yeah. Oh
what
my god.
in the comic book, when she finds out that he is not gay, she wants nothing to do with him. So it goes in a different direction at that point. So
That's so crazy.
and
That's so crazy.
and I thought the romance with the two of them actually worked pretty well for
Yeah.
that. So there's the funny parts, some of the funny parts about the movie that they try to pull it off as if this could be realistic. This is more like a real way of how people would actually be superheroes. And if you watch it, like if you would ever like the scene where Big Daddy is shooting a hit girl with a gun, with well, she's wearing the bulletproof vest. You,
Yes.
no matter what, if you get shot with a gun with a bullet, she would not be standing back up after that. So, so there was no realism to that scene whatsoever. In fact,
Yeah.
you didn't even have to go to the hospital afterwards.
Yeah. You'd be black and blue all over your
Yeah.
body for sure.
And some of the scenes, like of course, I mean, you have to you gotta you gotta give it some leeway there. Of course, the scene where he has where he's in the jetpack at the very end of the movie and he has the miniguns, he's
Yeah.
firing the all the ammo that he's firing, where was that ammo coming from? So obviously,
Good
there's
question.
got to come from somewhere. It's like there's no way that he could be flying with that much ammo and not being weighted down. That's how much he was firing. So little things like that, you just got to overlook that. But the movie itself, if you overlook the little stuff, of course, which most people do, you realize it's actually a really good movie. So
Yeah. Yeah. I liked it. Um, I don't want to call it cute because it's not cute, but I thought it was like it wrapped up nicely. It was well put together, and like I was really happy at the end. Like it was just a good start to finish. It was pretty good, pretty enjoyable.
And then the lead up to that, you can see like there's meant to be a sequel. From what I understand, there was actually supposed to be two sequels. They only made one of them. So
Wow.
the sequel, I forget who directed the first one, but and I do know that whoever directed the second one, which I also don't know, was a different person. So the tone of the second movie is a little different because of that. So
Mm,
it's for me, I'm not like I said, I don't want to give anything away, but for me, the second movie was lacking than from the first movie. So the first movie was really just seemed to be hit everything pretty much spot on, and the second movie just kind of fell flat in certain areas.
mm.
One of the scenes I thought was kind of funny. Let me see. We can go ahead and bring some of these scenes up here. I'm not going to play anything because I don't want to get any copyright issues here. But this is the actual movie, which is actually on YouTube, surprisingly. Um, there we go. The scene right here where where they're battling the drug dealers, or the
Yes.
um there's when the hit girl comes in and starts fighting, they play a song in the background, and what's funny is I immediately recognized the song. I said, is that the Banana Splits? And and I looked in the closing credits, and sure enough, it was the theme song from the Banana Splits, which is a live action Hanna-Barbera show from the 1970s. And I don't know if you're familiar with that show. Have you ever seen it?
No, I'm looking it up right now.
And
It's these bears.
yeah, a bunch of bears. Right. Yeah. Let me see if I can hold on, I'll see if I can bring it up here as well.
The banana splits. I have never heard of this.
I mean, I wouldn't even say it's very even popular, to be honest. The fact that I even remembered the tune, the melody was like kind of surprised me. So, um,
Yeah.
hold on a second. I'm trying to see if I can bring it up here as well. Uh, whoops. There we go. It was one Hanna-Barbera is well known for their cartoons, especially like they started with Tom and Jerry. They're the creators of Tom and Jerry. Yeah, here we go. So
Yeah,
here's
I'm familiar with Hanna-Barbera.
the fact that they actually did a live action show is kind of different for their whole thing. So, but
It's scary.
yeah, very much so.
Scary looking.
Yes, I would agree with that. So I don't remember. I barely remember the show. I remember watching it mostly in reruns on like maybe like one of the local channels where I lived in where I grew up would just run these in the afternoons, and to keep kids entertained. So um I don't even remember what the main plot of the stories were, but they'd ride around these little cars and everything. So
That is so wild. That is
um
so wild.
so let me go back to this. Um So was there anything as far as like anything on that jumped out for you like that?
For what do you mean
Um,
exactly? Like
I
favorite
mean,
part?
anything, yeah. What did you like about the movie? I guess you could say. Let's ask you. Let me ask you that.
I thought it was just how I just don't know how to explain. Like it made me feel good. I felt like I was cheering for people and I was laughing at the same time. I thought it was pretty heartfelt in certain ways, not overly as in like oh it's like a baby movie, but thinking back to where I was in 2010, I was totally here for it. I just felt like it just made me smile. I was just so pleasantly surprised. I like a movie that I like funny movies in general, but I also like movies like I like dark comedy, but even more than that, it's movies that are just meant to make you laugh. Like there's no super deep, intense meaning or takeaway, or these people aren't like belaboring anything. It's just it's fast, it's fun, And I think Nicolas Cage did a great job in this movie. Actually, I've always liked him as an actor, and I thought it was a good performance. I thought it was good comedy. It just what sucks is that it had such a bad, from what I remember feeling, bad community public vibe to it, because I think a lot of people wrote it off as a bad, dumb movie that is, I mean, even back in 2010, we're like, oh, another superhero movie. But
Right.
to today's crowds, that's great. You know, we have so many superhero movies that, you know, expanded the universe, da da da. But this was kind of a different. I would say around this time there was like a shift in like superhero movies. So this was just one. This was, I'm thinking to where I was in 2010, and this was it's such a good time in the whole modern recent history of superhero stuff. So put yourself in that frame of mind too when you're watching this, and you'll really enjoy it.
Yeah. And the kind of slightly changing the subject here a little. The when you brought Nicolas Cage, his character obviously is a parody of Batman, and
Yeah,
the way they're from what I understand, I've seen other people discuss this. The way they were able to get away with some of the obvious copies without getting any uh, problems with copyright or anything like that, it was because it's a parody. So when it's a parody, you can actually you're legally allowed to get away with stuff that you can't get away with normally. So that's one of the main reasons why they made a movie, a parody and a comedy of sorts, so they could do the obviously a Batman reference without having to worry about getting any legal action taken against them. So
yeah, and I think he does a good job.
yeah, yeah. Um, no, did you have you said before we talked that you had like a certain points of the movie you wanted to bring up? Did you is there like
Um, I thought Hit Girl's first fight scene with with the drug dealers is good, or the her yeah her first fight in the apartment. I also really liked when Red Mist and Kick Ass were driving and they were just chilling and being friends. I thought that was so cool. But I mean, obviously, they're not friends. At least one of them is not friends.
right?
And, you know, Red Mist is not being an honest friend. He's not being very truthful. But I thought it was pretty funny. And that's not really like substantial or like that much. But when they were cruising in the car and the mist came out, I thought that was really funny. I
The
mean, pretty much every scene with Hit Girl, she rocks.
yes. The I was gonna say the when they first bring her on, Chloe, what's the actress's name? Chloe, what's her name? I forget her last name again.
Chloe Grace Moretz.
She doesn't articulate her words very well. I know I have a problem with that myself sometimes, but she she's not when I'm on screen, sometimes I'm listening to her and I can't figure out what she said. And I'm trying to what did she just say? And she's just not enunciating correctly or something. Um
Yeah,
it's unfortunate because her character otherwise is really good. So, um, I do want to say though, when you brought up the scene with the, there's a couple of times where she does this, where she has the butterfly knife, and the guy comes out with the butterfly knife right here, and
yes,
he goes, he starts flipping it around, and she goes, "Oh, I can do that too," and she pulls out her knife, and she does the flipping around thing. Um, every time I see a butterfly knife, I used to work with a guy when I was like 17 years old in high school, and I had this after school job working at a car dealership where we did new car prep. We would prepare the cars for people that were buying their cars. And this he's a friend. I consider him a friend, but he had this fascination with butterfly knives. And he walked in one day with a butterfly knife, and he just like her, he would always do that trick where he'd flip it around and do that thing, almost like a nervous twitch. And he just pulled out on a whim. He'd just be talking, and also he just pulled out and go, just start doing the twirly. I don't even know how they do it exactly. I'm sure it's not too hard, but he would just do this. And every time I see that scene, I'm thinking of that. And he would just do it over and over and over. And it was like, I wanted to say, why do you do that? But anyway, it's just I'm getting
Was
kind
he violent? Is he a violent person?
No, he wasn't.
Okay.
He just had a weird fascination with his knife. I know I pick up things and I hold them in my hand sometimes. It's kind of like, when I'm talking to somebody, I'll just have something in my hand or something. It's almost like he just had to have something in his hand while he was talking to people. And he never threatened anybody. So, but he just had this weird fascination with his butterfly knife. But anyway, the uh yeah, that whole scene was pretty good. The obviously Hit Girl and Big Daddy were not when you watch the movie, obviously they're not superheroes. They're more vigilantes, obviously, because
Yeah.
they actually have no problems in killing everybody around them. Um, Kick Ass, obviously, he's more of the superhero. The one it looks to me is he's parodying Spider-Man, because a lot of the terminology he says, a lot of the things he says in the movie resembles that from the Spider-Man movies, from what I remember. And the I'm trying to, um, I don't know, anything else you want to add to that as far as what we're talking about?
Um, no, when I always think of movies like this, I do appreciate having the vigilante type thrown in, because I never like a one side A versus side B. I always like movies that have kind of that third wild card factor, that either both sides have to come to like handle on their own way, or that third thing is gonna like mess the whole mix up, like they just come in out of nowhere. So I thought having them was like the perfect touch. And um that's really all I took. I think the plot line as like the gayness is for this series, not like the comics and the movies, like is pretty crazy, and that did not age well. But
What? I'm sorry. Say it again. I'm sorry. What did not? I missed that. I missed something there. Say that again. I'm sorry.
the plot line, like about the girlfriend and
Oh,
the gay, like the thing about gayness, like he was gay. The rumors that he was gay,
okay.
like that's crazy. But the movie was, I liked it. I liked the movie.
Now I'm going to take a quick break here, and I'm going to go to our poll so we can see what we've got so far. We so far
Ooh,
20 minutes in, we have 39 votes. 44 votes. Excuse me. 73% so far have said they like comedy. 18% action or adventure, science fiction 5%, comic book movies have 0%, and romance at 5%. And we're gonna bring up our comments here. Just so this is just someone saying he's the first comment. So, um, I was kind of no responses yet as to what the favorite movie would actually be. Any specific movies? Any reaction to this so far?
um, comedy. Yeah, I think comedy rocks. I'm glad that everyone has a good sense of humor, and I invite more respondents to this poll, please. I'm surprised there's no comic book movies, considering we're talking about one right now.
I know. It's pretty funny. And especially since there's from what I understand, I don't watch the newer ones, but they're so popular. I would think that would be at least one person would have that on there. I'm sure we'll
Yeah,
see
right.
somebody. Let's see. Let me refresh the screen. See if somebody's. Nope, still nothing yet.
What was
47 votes so
what
far.
was the comment? I'm sorry.
Oh, it was just some person saying that he was first.
Oh,
He's
oh, okay.
posting the first one.
Well, very good. Somebody has to be first.
Yes. Okay. Now as far as the comedy, now of course comedy is subjective. There's obviously different kinds of comedy. So, you have the slapstick comedy. You have I'm sure. Are you familiar with the Naked Gun movies with Leslie Nielsen?
Yeah,
Okay,
like
and those are
airplane.
exactly, yeah, based on this was essentially based on the airplane movies. Um, and then you have the comedies that are more what you call, like, I guess, like a serious comedy in the sense that it's more plausible. Could take place in the real world, kind of a thing. So,
Yeah, yeah. I know what you're
uh,
talking about.
but it's just talking about comedies. Did you know? Have you seen Airplane?
No, I've
No.
seen. Oh wait, yeah, yeah, I did. Yes, I'm sorry. Yeah, I did. I don't know
Okay.
why I said no.
Okay. An Airplane is, I don't know if you know, this is based on a movie called Zero Hour, which came out in the 1950s. So if you ever get a chance to see the 19 whatever year it came out movie, Zero Hour, you can go in there. You can, some of the movie lines are lifted line for line from the original movie. So if you're wondering, like, if you ever watched the movie and you're wondering why Ted Stryker in the movie talks keeps on talking about the war, it's because they're referring to World War II, because the original movie came out in the 1950s. So in 1980, you're like, what does he mean the war? What war is he talking about? It wasn't Vietnam War, because it didn't make, that the way it didn't really jive with what the conversation was. And if you see the original movie, it starts to make more sense. So
Yeah.
um and the TV, and then obviously we're talking about the Naked Gun. The Naked Gun was based on a TV show called, I don't know if you saw it, that also starred Leslie Nielsen, called Police Squad. Did you ever see that one?
No, but Leslie Nielsen is so funny.
Uh-huh. The he was the Airplane was the first movie where he ever did a comedic role. Before that, he was always doing the straight roles, and that's why he got that role, because they wanted somebody that was well known for being the straight laced guy that, was either he always did like tough guys, or just very straight personality, no comedy, and they wanted someone that had that fit, so they put him in there so it looked very out of place in a comedy movie. So, and then from that point, he just kept on doing comedy movies. That's kind of funny.
That's awesome. I would have never expected him to be in serious roles like that
Really?
ever. No, I mean, I not that he isn't a good actor. I only see him as a super funny guy. So seeing him, knowing that he's in serious roles, I mean, he's an incredible, incredible actor. So it's definitely not that I thought he wasn't like good enough in that way, because I think a lot of very talented people do comedies, even slapstick or um, like raunchy or whatever, like comedy movies that may not at first get the recognition they deserve, or like that are just goofy, that are just so goofy. Um, he's great though. He's
The
great.
Yeah, up until then, he was extremely well known for doing serious movies. So that's kind of funny. In fact, a lot of people criticized him during the 80s because he took a different path, and saying, why aren't you go why basically, why are you doing these comedy roles? You should be going back to what you were doing before, because that's what you're well known for. So that's funny that you don't know him from his earlier movies.
Yeah,
If you go back and watch them, you'll see what I'm talking about. He very much is that very straight laced person, but no comedy whatsoever. So,
that's cool. Yeah,
Mhm.
I like his work. I'm a big fan.
So what other movies of his have you seen?
Oh man, I forget the other one. I'm gonna look it up right now. I don't remember the name of it, but
There was one, while you're looking that up, I can tell you one. I was a fan. I'm definitely a fan of his movies, but he made one movie. I think it was called Dracula, Dead and Loving It, I think it was. And I went to see that in the theater when it was brand new. My dad and I went to see it together, in fact. And we got so bored. I don't know if we actually left the movie. It was just so boring. And I've seen people review the movie over the past few years saying it's one of the best movies ever made. I'm like, really? I'm like, did we see the same movie? And the reason people give reason that it's one of the best movies ever made is, apparently it's almost a line for line comedy from an original Dracula movie of some sort from way back in the day. And so
mm,
it's, I guess, maybe if we had seen the original one, maybe we would have liked it. I don't know. But it's a Mel Brooks movie, and Mel Brooks, his movies towards the end seem to not be as funny as they were earlier on. I like Mel Brooks a lot, so it just seemed to be lacking some of the comedic edge. So I would not recommend that movie, but like I said, there's a lot of people on the internet that seem to love it. So I'm glad some people like it. So um other movies I'm trying to think of that he's been in, I can't think of any. I have to look it up. Were you looking up a movie? I'm gonna try to look up some right here as well.
yeah, I think. I think it was wrongfully accused.
Oh, okay. I'm not familiar with that one. It sounds familiar. What was the plot on that one?
Um, I remember this movie, but I don't remember it well. A man who has been framed for murder and desperately attempts to expose the true culprits. It's a parody of The Fugitive
Oh, is it?
and
Oh,
James Bond movies.
okay. I'm bringing it up right now. The 1 second. Oops.
But yeah, I would like to see him in more movies today. I wonder what he's doing right
Oh,
now in the 2020s.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know if you. I'm not joking. He's been dead for a little while. Sorry.
Wait, what? Oh my God.
Yeah,
No,
he's
I'm
been.
not serious. I didn't know that.
In fact,
My bad.
he's been dead for over 10 years. I'm not joking.
Really? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Wow. I had no idea. My bad.
Yeah, he
November
died.
2010. Okay, let's see this. November 2010. Kick Ass came out in 2010.
Oh, is that a conspiracy theory?
I'm
It's a.
gonna let's check it.
Um,
Let's check it.
I'm looking at the other movies that he's been in. I can't really.
Okay, April. So no connection.
um, I'm trying to find that Dracula movie. The it doesn't really matter. Oh, no, it's nothing here. The odd thing about watching the Naked Gun movies, of course, is seeing what's his name, the football player. Um, uh, because when the movies came out, he was I forget his name. You know who I'm talking about, I'm sure.
Yeah.
OJ
I'll,
Simpson. OJ Simpson. I couldn't remember his name there. Yeah, watching him being getting all beaten up and battered in the movie, comedically, of course. And then like after that, that's when the whole thing broke out with him, and what happened with his wife and everything. And so it's like that's the only watching those movies. It's like, oh my goodness, OJ Simpson's in this. It's like I keep on forgetting that he's in there, and you're like, geez, that's the only thing that's it's kind of a negative aspect to the movie, kind of a little bit, but as far I always overlook that part of it because the rest of it's pretty funny. Now I will say this, I was slightly disappointed in the Naked Gun movies, only in a way because the original Police Squad TV show that it was based on, which came out in around 1980. I was a big fan of that. There were only 6 episodes of that. In that TV show, Leslie Nielsen's character, he was just like he was in the movie Airplane. He was very straight laced, no slapstick whatsoever. But when the Naked Gun movies came out, he played the same character, but they changed it around so he was more like a bumbling detective almost sometimes. So, and it was fine. It was fine, but I was like, for me, it was like I was expecting to be more like that straight laced character where he was just the comedy was going around him and he wasn't really reacting to that comedy. So they changed it around a little bit. So it wasn't bad. It was just a little different take on the character. That's all. So it threw me off a little bit when I first saw it. Um, the I would definitely recommend the TV show if you've never seen that. If you like the movies, the 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 movie, even the TV show Police Squad is actually based on another TV show that came out in I want to say 50s called M Squad. So all these movies and TV shows that they made with Leslie Nielsen seem to be based on something that just keeps on dating back to something else. It's funny because if you watch the M Squad TV show that it was based on, you can actually see that they lifted the exact same dialogue from that one into one of their episodes. So you can like sit there back and it's almost like you're waiting for the joke to come in, but there's no joke because it's actually in the original show. It's serious, but you realize when you're watching the TV show, you're actually laughing. So, um,
right. That's
so
cool.
yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring. Oops, I don't want to do that. There we go. Okay, I was gonna bring uh Kick Ass back here. Now the scene, getting back to Kick Ass, um, one of the scenes I really loved was, I don't think we talked about this, was I'm trying to bring it up here at the very end here. Yeah, when she comes in, she's dressed up in little cute outfits, and they think she's just lost or something. And then she comes in and she goes right into her tough girl routine. And the whole scene when I'm trying to, it's not coming up. Come on. Hey, when it does this. It's not coming up. There we go. Is it? I hate when YouTube does this. Even it's like,
Yes.
but the scene where she comes in at the very end and she's basically uh fighting all the bad guys down the row and trying to work her way up to the end. The whole scene was just choreographed very well. The way there's a scene where when she first comes in and she the one guy takes a gun and he starts shooting at her, and then she takes it how she harpoons his hand and then pulls it back, and then just like this little twitch with her wrist, and it pulls back, and then like he shoots himself in the head. I'm like, I mean, it's like weird to watch a movie where you're actually laughing at someone dying
Yeah.
but
And
then
like at the hands of a little girl.
yeah, it's and then there's the scene where she's like, as she's running down, she like runs out of ammo, so she quickly ejects the cartridges out of the handguns, and then and she pops them out, and then as she's pulling the handguns back down, the cartridges go right back into the gun, and she starts shooting again. You know, just the way they do that, the timing is pretty funny. So, um, trying to darn it. Let me hit refresh and see if it'll come up. I hate when it does that. There we go. Now we can bring it up. Okay. Whoops. I don't want to play this. I don't want to get any copyrights here. So, the one thing about the movie, what's his name? Red Mist.
Yeah.
Now in the movie, he changes. At first he loves Kick Ass, and then he doesn't really start. He doesn't. In fact, he likes Kick Ass throughout the entire movie. Um, he doesn't. It doesn't change until what is it? Until his father gets killed. Until Red Mist's father gets killed.
Yeah, it was something about the warehouse. And I just like, oh, well, that reminds me of like the whole setup with the doll and watching the footage and stuff like that. Where so he thinks that they broke into the or like they did break into the warehouse,
There you go.
and he started getting mad. He got mad after that when he broke into the warehouse.
Oh, is that where it was? Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I forgot. Okay. Gotcha. And I mean, it seemed like, I mean, because he's throughout the movie, like when they betray Kick Ass to lure in Hit Girl and Big Daddy, he's actually apologizing at that point. There's the scene where they lure him, and you're thinking, wow, he's actually seems like a nice, decent guy. And as it progresses, you can see, he becomes the evil adversary towards the end. So,
I
uh,
liked his character.
oh yeah, it was pretty good. Uh, I'm trying to now I can actually there we go. Now we can actually see the scenes I was talking about. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, we can't really do very much without giving too much here as far as the copyright. So,
These faces
um,
are so good.
the other aspect of this is especially in the second movie, there's no political correctness in this movie. So,
Mm.
this is the second movie. There's several lines that are very much which you could say would be racist in the movie, and they actually to cover themselves, they actually say, "Hey, that's racist." So, so I would maybe the first movie not so much, but the second movie I guess is more what I'm thinking of. So,
Wow.
it's done in tongue in cheek though. It's not meant to be taken seriously, of course. So,
Yeah.
was there any as far was there
That was really it. But I definitely suggest people watch it again
yeah the
if they've seen it already. If you haven't, then just give it a watch.
now would you is this a movie you would watch again? I guess I assume you would.
Watch again. I would watch it with someone else. I wouldn't watch it by myself again.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if it was like I would potentially introduce it to someone, but I probably wouldn't watch it on my own. If that makes sense.
Is there well I'm curious why is that? I'm not sure why what you're getting at with that.
Because I like to watch. I don't usually watch movies more than once.
Oh, I see.
That's
Okay.
just person, or like I will if it's on, but I won't seek it out just because on the Tina meter.
The Tina meter. Ooh,
Yep, didn't pass the point of rewatch. I guess good, but I wouldn't rewatch.
gotcha. Now, as far as movies in general, so you're saying is that a regular thing with you? I mean, as far as like movies, I mean, do you just only watch it once and then next time only with a friend, or how's that work with
Yeah,
you?
pretty much. That's actually kind of how it goes usually is like I'll watch it and if I really like it, I'll watch it with someone else and then I've watched it with someone else. But there are definitely movies that I will rewatch just because I like them.
Hmm. Any in particular you'd like to mention?
The Princess Bride,
Oh, okay, okay, that's a good one. I haven't seen that in a while.
um, Rear Window with Alfred Hitchcock.
Oh, I don't know if I've seen that one.
Oh, it's so good. And Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Okay, okay, that's a good movie. Yes, I like that.
So those are some examples.
No, no,
Shawshank Redemption is also one.
okay, yes, that's a good movie. That's very good.
So,
Yes.
yeah,
I've watched that a few times, so yes. I can agree that's a movie definitely worth watching more than once for sure.
yeah.
I'll have to watch that. What's the Alfred Hitchcock one again? I've heard of it. Give me that one. I'll have to watch it.
Rear Window.
Rear Window. Okay, I'll try to remember that one. So, now as far as the Tina meter goes, what would you give that one?
Okay, so I'm pretty harsh in ratings because okay, how should we do it? Five, five. I would put it 5 out of 10. I put like to me, five would be take it or leave it. 10
Okay,
would not be a good movie. 10 would be fantastic, incredible movie. So I'd probably put it at like a six, or I'd probably put it at a 6.9,
oh really? Oh
six
really?
point eight.
Oh wow, I thought you put higher than that. Wow. Okay. Interesting.
Okay, okay, maybe see, and that's why it sounds a little harsh. Okay, maybe like a point 7 or 7.5.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd put it at 7.5 or 8.
Now as far as these movies, I have you seen any of these? Would you say no? Would you like these movies say better in a theater or just on home video or home television? What would be better?
Yeah, um, Kick-Ass would probably be a movie theater movie.
Okay.
Yeah, I could definitely see that more of a theater movie. I mean, I thought it was pretty good. Um, but yeah, I miss movie theaters. Like I love movie theaters. That would have been a good movie theater movie.
Yeah. To give you an idea how dead the movie theater industry is where I live, there is the the county I live in, which is Stafford County, Virginia, has absolutely no movie theaters at all right now. So if I want to go see a movie in a theater, I have to drive to a county that I have to drive at least probably like 20 miles away right now. So, uh,
Wow.
and the one theater that they did have, which this is kind of funny, I think it got torn down about 7 years ago, was old. I'm not saying old isn't bad because I like the style, but it was an older style theater from like you would see back in the 80s or maybe in the 90s. It had the older style seats, and I think that's why they got rid of it because it was just that older style. But I kind of liked it. I like that older style. It reminded me of going to see movies way back in the '90s, and but modern movie theaters have the what they call more like stadium seating, where you're sitting above the person so in front of you, so you don't have to be blocked by their view. But yeah, I'm not even sure. They keep on saying they're going to bring one back to the county I live in, but they never do. They're always saying, "Oh, I read in the news every once in a while they're going to open up some new theater," and I don't think it's ever going to. Now with what's going on nowadays, I don't think it's ever going to happen. So, I'm just stuck without unless when I drive quite a distance, I won't be watching any movies in a theater anytime soon.
Yeah,
The
that's a sad part of today's world.
and the as far as for you, would you I I know you said you like to. How do you feel about going to see movies in general at a theater? Do you prefer that or?
It depends on the movie, but I do really like theaters. Um, I like the big screen and the popcorn and stuff like that. Like, I also like the shared experience of watching a movie with other people too. Like, not that it's a big deal, but I don't know. If I'm gonna watch it, in a big giant room with a huge screen that's so big, bigger than like the floor plan of my apartment, then I don't mind if other people are in there. But yeah, I like theaters for sure. I miss them.
The
I do.
there's a theater in DC. It's called the Uptown Theater. It's very old. I think it was built back. I want to say the 30s, maybe, probably maybe the 50s. I'm not sure. Sometime between the 30s and the 50s. I'm not sure. Whenever there, I don't know if they still do this, but whenever there was a major movie release, and they wanted to have like a press, like the press come in and cover the movie, like the release of the movie would always be shown at at that theater. That's how it's a very popular theater still. One summer in particular, there was a movie, I think it was the summer of 96. I don't remember exactly which year, but anyway, whatever it was, a movie came out and it flopped. And what happened was the Uptown Theater had purchased the movie to run throughout the entire summer. And because it flopped almost immediately, they had no movies to run.
Wow.
So, but it was a blessing because of in disguise, so to speak, because what they did is they started running older movies from like the 1970s and 80s. So movies I'd never got a chance to see at the theater, I was able to see for the first time in a theater. It was really cool. So I got to see the movie Alien, which I'd never seen because when it came out in the theater, which is really cool to see it on big screen. I got to see not that I'm a big fan of it, but 2001: A Space Odyssey. I got to see that in the theater.
Must
Um,
see.
the I don't remember all the other movies, but it was like basically every weekend we'd go down there, we'd get to see another classic movie. It was just really cool to see them. And the theater is huge too. It has a balcony, which is kind of rare. I don't even know many movies theaters have balconies anymore. But we always the best spot was in the balcony in the very front because there was nobody in front of you and you could see everything really clear. So
Movie theaters make most of their money off of the concessions
yeah,
also. So that's
that's
pretty cool.
yeah. So I guess we can go ahead and start wrapping everything up. But we'll go ahead and bring our poll up at least one more time here so we can see where we are.
Thank you to everyone who has or will answer the poll.
And we got a couple of responses too. Oh, here we go. Okay. So now we have 82 votes, 70% still a comedy. Comic books have moved up a little to 2%.
Okay.
Action adventure or adventure, 17%. Science fiction, 9%. And 2% just like comic books for romance.
Wow.
So,
I can't believe we got some romance options there.
yeah. Let's take the responses.
Heartfelt people.
So first, Red Zone Gaming says, I like action and adventure too, and buddy movies, but mostly ones that have humor in them.
Oh, buddy movies. That's a good one.
Yes.
That's a very good one, Red Zone. Thank you.
One of my favorite buddy movies would be a movie that I don't know if too many people are familiar with. It's a movie called Midnight Run with Charles Grodin and Robert De Niro. Came out in 1988. It became one of my favorite movies of all time.
The title sounds familiar.
Midnight Run. Let's see. Hold on. I'll bring up here. I know we got to wrap everything up. I'll try to make it quick here. Okay, there's not much we can really see here, but basically the basic plot is Charles Grodin is he's skipped out on bail, but he's a white collar crime. He's stole money from the mob, and Robert De Niro's character has to bring him in. He's a bounty hunter, and so in the movie itself, it's definitely a buddy movie, very much so.
Oh, cool.
So
nice. Underrated genre for sure. Underrated subgenre.
Yeah. And like I said, I don't know how many other people would like it, but it's definitely a very good movie. So I got hooked on it. Whenever it was on, I would always watch it. So
nice.
Movies. Let me jump back here real quick when we can wrap everything up. The Onion movie, Steven Seagal from
I'm not familiar with that.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that one either. So and let's see, we got a couple of responses.
I want to see those too.
So, no one cares about your response, and I have a gun. Okay.
Let's close that up. No, I'm kidding.
Alrighty.
Well, yes. Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to talk to you and the audience.
Yes, Tina.
And next week we'll have something really fun.
Cool. And thanks everyone for watching, and we'll we'll see you next time. Have a good one. And don't forget to keep on if you want, leave any comments on this video, and also leave any comments on the our question as well. We'll go ahead and discuss it on the next show. All right. Bye-bye.